cars and try and stay out of trouble. And stay alert, try and make up some places off the grid.
Yes, stay alert. Try and make some places off the grid. To be honest, I wasn't really listening to him at the start of this race. I was just going for it. It was my first time trying out the fully fledged Rallycross car on the controller. And to start with, I took the Joker route because I didn't know where I was going, and then got completely sucked in for the entire first lap. I got sucked up by this gravelly stuff that they've got on the sides. It just pulls you off the track. Pulled me off the track completely. I had no control over the car whatsoever. It was just pulling off to the left into the gravel trap. But once I got over that, I managed to figure out what this track was about. And actually, this track is awesome. I wasn't really sure. I think it's noted down that this is Hell Rallycross. I mean, I think it was. I don't know where it was exactly, but it is a pretty complex little track. You've got Rallycross cars with, 600 plus horsepower going around this very tight and technical circuit. With very tight corners, which I'm constantly messing up, but it's fine. It's fine. This was for me to really gauge what the Rallycross would be like on the controller. We've already seen that the controller gameplay on the junior version of the Rallycross cars, the little Ford Fiestas that we were in last time, that was actually quite good. It was difficult to handle at times, but it reacted quite well. The transition from tarmac to dirt was very impressive, and once again, same again with this one, except now that we have a large amount of horsepower, I can skid into a corner and floor it and then understeer off the side of the track after the corner. So all in all, big improvements there. No, not really, but it basically it took me a while to get used to driving such a powerful car, and also this track was so technical and it was basically, as soon as you could get some speed up, you were on the brakes again, ready for the next corner. And with the way that these cars handle, you've really got to chuck it into the corners and go full ham, otherwise you're basically just driving around not having much fun with your car that's understeering it around every corner, because it's got such soft suspension to deal with the massive bumps and grooves that are on the Rallycross circuits. As you can see here, I'm taking different routes around the track each time as well, trying to figure out what the actual route is. I think by the second go on this race, I actually got it correct, so that was all good. Now on the sim rig of this setup, I had a lot of fun. There was several different rigs at the event. One that was doing the IndyCar with time attack, and I think it was two or three others that were the same as that. But then they had the one for the main Rallycross circuit, which was this one, which was in the Honda Civic Red Bull car, which Slightly Mad Studios have been working very closely with this team in modelling the car and looking at how Rallycross cars differ to normal cars that they've been dealing with in the past, and the nuances of a Rallycross car and how it's different. There's a lot of work that's been going into Rallycross in this game. You could really tell from the way it was handling. But anyway, it was the main event was this Rallycross car, the Honda Civic, and the rig that they had set up for that was the most intense rig of all the ones that they had there. If you look at the walk around video that me and Alan did, basically the pistons that were on each corner of this rig were twice the size pretty much of the other ones that were there, and they even only had it up at 50% movement, so it could have been even rougher experience for us. But I think with the VR on, it would have probably made several people sick. Everyone's tacos would have been on the floor. So yeah, they had toned it down a little bit. And unfortunately as well, on this rig, it was the only one that had a shifter knob and a handbrake. I think they had like the Fanatec shifter there, and the handbrake was actually like a legitimate hydraulic handbrake that you would use on a normal car, but I think it was just wired up so that it could be used as like an analog input for the game. So that was really cool. It looked pretty legit, this handbrake, and I was trying to use the handbrake as I was on the rig, but they had actually disconnected the shifter, so I was forced to use the paddle shifters on the wheel. And as you're flinging a car around these corners, which are coming at you at like 1,000,000 miles per hour, you're pulling a handbrake trying to get into it, and the wheel's spinning round, and you're getting thrown about massively with the VR going on, and I basically was losing track of which way up the wheel was, and as I was trying to shift down, you know, like handbrake into the corner, shift down a couple of gears so I can get into the corner all right, I was just getting completely disorientated. But once I got used to it a little bit more, I didn't fully get used to it. I didn't have enough time to get used to what the Rallycross cars were like. But once I did get used to it a bit more, especially on the rig, I was able to hook up some of the corners really nicely. I really enjoyed how the Rallycross cars handled. Actually, it gave me faith in the game and how it will handle beyond the limit of grip. That was something that Project Cars 1 really struggled with, was how the game felt when you got into a bit of a slide. And Rallycross cars, you're constantly trying to slide the car, so how it was handling when you're in the middle of a slide, especially this corner that we're coming up to here, stick it in second or third gear coming into this corner, you basically straighten the steering wheel and floor it through the corner, and you get a really nice slide all the way around the corner. It was really cool, really enjoyed it. And on the full rig, that was super satisfying. As you're coming around a corner, you sort of chuck it in and give a little bit of dab of handbrake if you feel like you're getting some understeer. And as you can see here, you know, throwing it in there, the cars are so responsive, and they can hold a slide. They could hold a slide quite easily. Yes, given they are four-wheel drive, so all you have to do is just floor it really. But I felt like the tyres were working well. I felt like the cars were working well. The AI, as I'm demonstrating here, was a little bit sketchy at times. They were all just queuing up behind me there, but I wanted to just see what would happen. Basically, I was just playing around to see if I could get them to bunch up a bit and just see how they would react. But it was quite difficult to race the AI on this track, just because of how tight all the corners were and how fast these cars are. You don't. Some of you might not understand how quick the acceleration is on a Rallycross car. I mean, if you look, I'm getting into 5th gear going up there out of a 2nd gear corner in what, about 300-400 meters. It's the acceleration on these cars is insane. I think it's actually faster than F1 car Rallycross cars. They're faster in initial acceleration than pretty much any other racing car in racing car series in the world. They're absolutely insane, but great fun. I think that from what I've experienced so far, Rallycross and how the car slides as well, it's made me have a lot of faith in the physics of this game. The underlying physics of this game are solid, very solid, and they handle really well on the controller, as you can see here. Remember back on the video of the GT cars around the Red Bull Ring, there were several times where I was having real issues with the GT cars mid-corner, but this car was handling really well, and I think it just goes to show that the Rallycross car was definitely the ones that they were really concentrating on to try and nail for this event. It was the reveal event for the Rallycross cars, so they wanted to make sure it was handling the best it could, and it was the best representation that they could prepare for the event. Obviously they're nowhere near finishing this game yet, so they had to try and just get together a build that would be suitable enough for us to be able to play. And obviously they had to get it done probably weeks in advance of the actual event, so the build is probably a few weeks old when we actually got to play it. And I did notice at one point I managed to get into the menu system when I wasn't allowed to, and a lot of the GT cars actually didn't have like their picture in the menus. And I also noticed in game the audio on some of the GT cars just doesn't work at all, so you could really tell that the GT cars were very much unfinished, whereas the Rallycross cars felt a lot more polished. They were handling very, very well. It was the same actually with the first event that we went to, and we got to play on the Mercedes cars on there. So the Mercedes cars were much better put together for the controller than I was expecting. So I think they're definitely getting there with the controller. It's handling very well at times. If it handles like it's handling with this Rallycross car or with the Mercedes AMG GT, which was the first car I drove on controller with Project Cars 2, if that sort of stuff continues to move forward into release, then I've got high hopes for how the controller will feel. And I already know that the simulation on the wheel is going to be incredible, because my experience with this car on the wheel was exactly as I expected. The way that the car felt mid-slide and how it was reacting to my different throttle and steering inputs was exactly as I was expecting. As you can see there, I just slid it into that corner so well. It really was great to hook up at times. So yeah, I'm really excited for this game. This Rallycross is something that's just got me really pumped to play this game now. I'm really excited. But anyway guys, if you enjoyed, please give us a like and subscribe, and we'll catch you real soon.
You've won the race! Fantastic drive!